Take a deep breath, just for a moment. I want you to let go of everything you've been holding onto today. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Let the air fill your lungs completely, and as you exhale, feel the weight of the world start to slip away. If you are hearing these words right now, it isn't by accident. In a world of billions of voices and endless scrolling, you were led here. It isn't just an algorithm that brought you to this moment. It is because you are being called. There is a frequency that your soul has been emitting, and it has finally found a place to rest. Lately, you might have felt a strange, heavy sensation in your chest. It's a feeling that doesn't quite have a name. It's not exactly sadness, and it's not exactly anxiety. It's more like a restlessness, a sudden, quiet pull that you couldn't quite explain to anyone else. You might have found yourself staring out of a window or lying awake at 3 in the morning, wondering why your heart feels so full yet so restless at the same time. Maybe a specific name or a face or a memory keeps crossing your mind, even when you are trying your hardest to focus on the tasks in front of you. You've tried to shake it off. You've told yourself you're just tired or that you're overthinking, but the feeling persists. It lingers like a soft echo in a quiet room. I want you to hear me clearly, and I want you to let these words sink deep into your spirit. You are safe here. This message is not here to overwhelm you. It is not here to scare you, and it certainly isn't a warning of something bad about to happen. So often, when we feel a spiritual pull, our first instinct is fear. We wonder if we are being warned of a loss or if we are about to face a heartbreak. But that is not what this is. This is not a message of alarm. It is a message of alignment. This space we are in right now is a sanctuary for your nervous system. You don't have to perform here. You don't have to have the answers. You don't have to be strong. You can just be. I know that your mind has been a storm of what ifs lately. I know you've been questioning your own intuition, wondering if you're just imagining things, or if you're losing your grip on what is real. You've spent so much energy trying to rationalize your emotions, trying to find a logical explanation for why you feel so connected to someone who isn't standing right in front of you. You've been hard on yourself. You've told yourself to move on, to be more practical, to stop living in the what could be. But that tug you feel, that magnetic pull in the middle of the night that makes you feel like someone is reaching out to you from the silence, it is real. It is as real as the air you are breathing right now. Last night, while the world was silent and the stars were the only witnesses, your soulmate couldn't sleep. There was a shift in the atmosphere. Something was pulling them toward you. It wasn't a physical pull, but a spiritual one, an energy, a frequency, a call from deep within that they couldn't ignore no matter how hard they tried. While you were sitting in your room, wondering if you were alone in this feeling, they were feeling the space where you belong in their life. They were feeling the absence of your energy, and that absence became a presence they could no longer deny. Consider this moment your permission to finally stop overthinking. You have been carrying the weight of two people on your shoulders, trying to figure out both your journey and theirs. But today, we are going to clear the fog. We are going to lift that heaviness, layer by layer. God has guided you to this moment because you deserve clarity, not more confusion. You deserve to trust your own heart again. You are being invited to step out of the chaos of your thoughts and into the stillness of your soul. So just settle in. Don't worry about the time. Don't worry about what you have to do next. Just listen. Your heart already knows the truth that your mind has been fighting. It's time to let the fight end. It's time for your mind to finally find the peace that your soul has been waiting for. You are safe, you are loved, and you are exactly where you are supposed to be. When two people are woven together at a soul level, distance is nothing more than a physical illusion. We are taught to believe that if we cannot touch someone or hear their voice, they are not there. But your spirit knows better. Your spirit understands that we are all made of energy, and energy has no boundaries. It doesn't care about miles or walls or the silence between two phones. Lately, you may have noticed moments where your mood shifted without warning. You could be doing something as simple as making a cup of coffee or driving to work, and suddenly, a wave of emotion hits you. It's a heaviness in your chest that didn't start with you. It's a sudden restlessness, a feeling like you're waiting for a train that hasn't arrived yet. You might even feel a sudden, sharp ache of longing that feels too big for your own heart to hold. I want you to understand what is actually happening in those moments. This isn't obsession. It isn't you being too sensitive or unable to let go. What you are experiencing is emotional resonance. When two souls are deeply connected, restlessness travels between them like a silent echo across a canyon. Think of it like two strings on a guitar that are tuned to the exact same frequency. If you pluck one string, the other begins to vibrate, even if no one has touched it. That is what is happening between you and your soulmate right now. Last night, they were awake. They were tossing and turning, unable to find a comfortable spot in the silence of their room. And because your hearts are tuned to the same note, you felt the vibration of their restlessness. This isn't about drama. It isn't about a chaotic fight or a toxic cycle. It is about unfinished emotional energy. In the spiritual realm, there is no such thing as a half-finished conversation. If something remains unsaid, or if a feeling hasn't been fully acknowledged, that energy remains active. It stays in the air, searching for a place to land. Last night, that energy was searching for you. They were thinking about the way you laugh, or the way you used to look at them, or perhaps they were finally admitting to themselves that they missed the peace you brought into their lives. They might not have the words yet. They might not even be ready to pick up the phone, but their soul is already reaching out, trying to bridge the gap that pride or fear has created. When you feel those sudden emotional waves, I want you to stop and take a breath. Don't try to analyze where the feeling came from. Don't start scrolling through their social media looking for clues. Don't blame yourself for feeling weak because you still care. Instead, just acknowledge the connection. Say to yourself, I feel you and it's okay. By acknowledging it without reacting to it, you allow that energy to pass through you instead of getting stuck in you. The reason you feel so drained is because you've been trying to fight the feeling. You've been trying to push it away because you're afraid that if you feel it, it means you're moving backward. But listen to me, this doesn't mean loss. It doesn't mean you are stuck in the past. It means connection. It means that the thread between you is still strong, still pulsing, and still alive. It is a reminder that you are not as alone as you think you are. You see, the universe doesn't waste energy. It wouldn't keep this connection alive in your spirit if there wasn't a purpose for it. This restlessness is actually a form of preparation. It is the clearing out of old, stagnant air so that something fresh can eventually breathe. When they can't sleep, it's because their subconscious is finally wrestling with the truth. They are beginning to realize that the distractions they've used to fill their time are no longer working. The noise of the world is fading, and in that silence, Your energy is the only thing they can hear. So, if you feel that tug on your heart today, don't let it pull you down. Let it remind you of your own capacity to love and be loved. Let it be proof that you are a deeply intuitive, connected being. You are feeling them because they are finally becoming aware of the space you occupy in their soul. Let the weight go. You don't have to figure out the how or the when right now. You don't have to solve the mystery of why this is happening. Just let your heart be light. Trust that the same universe that is vibrating that string is also the one that will bring the music to a beautiful resolution in its own time. You are connected, you are seen, and you are perfectly okay. Often we spend so much time wondering if someone is thinking about us that we forget to ask why. We tend to jump to the most painful conclusions. We tell ourselves they must be feeling guilty, or that they are stuck in regret, or that something terrible has happened. But I want you to shift your perspective for a moment. I want you to consider that the something pulling them toward you is much deeper and much more beautiful than a simple apology or a sense of guilt. What was pulling them toward you last night wasn't a dark emotion. It wasn't a haunting memory. It was a deep, quiet, and persistent pull for understanding. You see, in the busy hours of the day, it's easy to stay distracted. The world is loud. Work, chores, and the constant hum of life act as a shield, protecting us from the truths we aren't ready to face. But when the lights go out and the phone is put away, the shield disappears. In that stillness, your image becomes the only thing their mind can settle on. They are being pulled toward a need for emotional honesty, not just with you, but with themselves. For a long time, there have been words left unsaid, not because of anger or malice, but because the human ego is fragile. Sometimes we stay silent because the timing feels wrong, or because we are afraid that being honest will make us vulnerable. But energy doesn't have an ego. Energy doesn't know how to lie. That magnetic pull they are feeling is the soul's desire to finally be seen by you again. They are realizing that no matter how far they run or how many new faces they meet, they cannot find the specific peace that your energy provides. They are beginning to understand that you were never just a chapter in their story. You were the atmosphere in which they felt most like themselves. I want you to sit with this thought for a moment and really let it settle in your mind. Not everything that pulls two souls together is meant to break them. We have been conditioned to believe that intense spiritual connections are always meant to be chaotic or painful. We think that if there is a pull, there must be a struggle. But sometimes, the pull is simply meant to heal the cracks that have been there for far too long. Sometimes, the universe pulls two people back into each other's orbit not to repeat the past, but to offer a fresh breath of air to a relationship that was stifled by silence. The reason you've been feeling so much confusion lately is that you've been trying to solve this spiritual puzzle with your logical brain. You've been looking for evidence in the physical world, waiting for a text, checking for a sign, searching for a reason. But logic cannot explain why your soul vibrates when their name is mentioned. Logic cannot explain why you felt a sudden warmth in your heart at the exact moment they were thinking of you. The fog is starting to lift now. You can stop the endless search for the why. You can stop asking what it all means and what is going to happen next. The pull itself is your answer. It is a divine invitation to be still. It is a call for peace, for honesty, and for the simple truth that your souls are still in a deep, sacred conversation, even while your physical selves are in silence. They were pulled toward you because you represent home. You are the mirror that shows them their best self. And in the middle of the night, when the world feels cold and empty, home is the only place anyone wants to be. They are reaching out across the ether, trying to find that warmth again. As you hear this, I want you to feel the tension leaving your body. You don't have to do anything with this information. You don't have to plan your next move. Just acknowledge that you are worth being missed. You are worth being pulled toward. You are a soul that leaves an imprint on everyone you touch, and right now, that imprint is being felt more strongly than ever before. Trust that this something, this invisible force, is working in your favor. It is clearing the debris. It is softening the hardened heart. It is preparing a path that you don't even have to build yourself. The pull is the proof that the connection is alive. And if it is alive, it is being taken care of by something much bigger than you or them. Take a breath. Let the confusion settle. Everything is becoming clear. You might have been wondering lately why your own mood shifted so suddenly, almost without warning. One moment you were fine, going about your day, and the next, a wave of emotion hit you that didn't seem to have a source. You might have felt a strange, quiet calm, the kind of stillness that feels like the air before a snowfall. Or perhaps you felt a sudden, sharp sadness, a longing that made you want to drop everything and just sit in the silence. You may have even felt a physical urge to pause your life, a feeling that the busy world around you, the emails, the chores, the social obligations, all felt incredibly loud and superficial. You wanted to retreat. You wanted to be still. You wanted to just be. I want you to understand that this wasn't just you having an off day. This is what we call the mirror effect. When two hearts are in spiritual resonance, your nervous systems begin to speak to one another across the distance. You aren't just an isolated individual. You are part of a shared energetic field. You weren't just feeling your own emotions last night. You were picking up on the frequency of theirs. Think of it like a beautiful, invisible conversation happening beneath the surface of your conscious mind. When they finally reached a moment of clarity in the middle of the night, when they stopped fighting their thoughts and just accepted how much they miss you, you felt that sudden, unexplained calm. Their peace became your peace. And when they felt the heavy weight of the distance between you, or the fear that they might have waited too long, you felt that sudden wave of sadness. You were literally mirroring the state of their soul. Now, here is the most important part. The part I need you to hold on to when the confusion starts to creep back in. You are not imagining this. I know there is a voice in your head that tells you you're being crazy or that you're overanalyzing. I know you've been questioning your own heart, wondering if your intuition is broken. But I am here to tell you that your intuition is sharper than it has ever been. You are seeing and feeling exactly what is happening in the unseen realms. You are sensitive because you are connected. However, with that connection comes a very important boundary that you must set for your own peace of mind. Even though you can feel their restlessness, even though you can sense their pull, you are not responsible for fixing anything. Read that again in your mind. You are not responsible for fixing their journey. Many of us, when we feel our soulmate's pain or confusion, feel an immediate urge to reach out. We want to save them. We want to text them and say, "I feel you, it's okay." We want to bridge the gap ourselves because we can't stand the thought of them being restless. But you must realize that their restlessness is part of their growth. It is the very thing that is pushing them to change, to evolve, and to finally be honest with themselves. If you step in and try to fix it, you are taking away the lesson the universe is trying to teach them. You are trying to carry a burden that doesn't belong to you. By doing so, you only add more tension to the thread that connects you. You create a cycle of self-blame, wondering why your efforts aren't working or why the silence continues. Your only job right now, your only responsibility, is to remain in your own peace. You are allowed to feel the connection without having to act on it. You are allowed to acknowledge the mirror without having to step through the glass to save the person on the other side. When you feel that sudden shift in energy, instead of asking, "What should I do?" I want you to ask, "How can I stay centered?" The connection exists without your effort. It exists in the quiet, in the dark, and in the space between breaths. It doesn't need you to manage it. By letting go of the need to fix, you are actually clearing the way for the universe to do its work. You are removing the static of your own anxiety so the signal between your souls can be pure and clear. So let the mirror show you the truth. Accept the validation that what you feel is real. But then come back home to yourself. You are not responsible for the journey they must take to get back to you. You are only responsible for keeping your own light burning bright. You are safe, you are intuitive, and you are finally free from the weight of having to solve a mystery that God is already handling. In this journey of the heart, we often mistake intensity for a warning. We have been conditioned to believe that if a feeling is this strong, or if a connection is this heavy, it must be a sign of danger. We think that if we are being pulled towards someone from our past or someone in our silence, it must mean we are losing control of our lives. But I want you to shift your heart toward a different truth. I want you to remember that God is the author of peace, not of confusion. When God brings a connection back into your awareness, it isn't to make your life harder. It isn't to haunt you with old memories or to pull you back into cycles of pain. If He is allowing you to feel this person's energy right now, it's not because He wants to distract you from your path. It's because He is bringing the truth into the light so that you can finally stop fighting it. If this message has reached your ears today, it is not a warning of a coming storm. It is the soft light that comes after the clouds have broken. It is here to ease your mind and soften your heart. You see, God doesn't communicate through chaos. He doesn't lead us through fear. He leads us through a quiet, steady awareness. The reason you have felt so much tension lately is not because the connection is bad, but because you have been trying so hard to control the outcome. You've been trying to figure out the timing. You've been trying to manage how they feel and how you should react. You've been trying to act as the architect of your own destiny, building walls to protect yourself, and then wondering why you feel so trapped. But God is asking you to let go of the wheel. He is asking you to trust that He can see the whole map while you can only see the next few steps. I want you to hold this sentence close to your soul. God is not pulling you backward. He is steadying you. When you feel that pull toward your soulmate, or when you feel their restlessness in the middle of the night, don't look at it as a step back into the past. Look at it as God grounding your feet in the present truth. He is steadying your nervous system so that when the path finally opens up, when the silence finally breaks, you are ready. You won't be walking into that moment with desperation or fear. You will be walking into it with a clear head and a whole heart. You don't need to have all the answers right now because the one who guided you to this very video already has them. You can trust the timing of your life. You can trust the silence that currently stands between you. In the eyes of the divine, silence is not an absence of movement. It is a time of deep preparation. It is the time when the soul learns to be still, to be patient, and to trust in things unseen. And most importantly, this is the time where you are being asked to trust yourself again. For so long, you've told yourself that you were wrong to feel this way. You've called yourself foolish for still caring or for still sensing them. But by doing that, you were rejecting your own spiritual gifts. God gave you this intuition as a compass, not as a curse. If you feel them, it's because the connection is real. If you sense them, it's because the bond is alive. Accept that truth. Don't fight it anymore. When you stop fighting the reality of your connection, the confusion disappears. What's left is a calm, steady knowing. You are being guided by a hand that never slips and a love that never fails. Feel that strength behind you right now. Let it settle your racing thoughts. Let it remind you that you are loved, you are watched over, and you are exactly where you are supposed to be in your spiritual evolution. Take a deep breath and let the tension leave your jaw. Let the muscles in your back relax. You are not alone in this. You are being held by the same power that moves the stars and keeps the oceans in their place. If that power can manage the universe, it can certainly manage the heart of the person you love. God is working in the spaces you cannot see. He is whispering to them in the hours they cannot sleep. He is softening the parts of them that were hardened by the world. Your only job is to stay in your light, to keep your peace, and to trust that everything is being woven together for your highest good. You are safe, you are guided, and you are finally coming home to yourself. As we come to the end of our time together, I want us to sit in the stillness we've created. We have journeyed through the restlessness of the night, the mystery of the soul's pull, and the comforting guidance of the divine. But now, we must address the most important truth of all, the one that will truly set your spirit free and allow you to sleep soundly tonight. There is a final weight we need to lift off your shoulders. It's the weight of expectation. When we feel someone so strongly, our human mind immediately wants to turn that feeling into a plan. We think, if I feel them, they must be coming back tomorrow. Or, if this connection is real, I must wait for them and put my entire life on hold. We might even feel a panicked urge to act, to send that text, to make that call, to force a conversation because the energy feels so intense. But I want to offer you a different perspective, a gentler one. Just because you can feel their soul reaching out doesn't necessarily mean they are ready to return to your physical life this very second. And that is okay. Just because you sense their restlessness doesn't mean you are being asked to stand at the door and wait for them to knock. I want you to let this phrase anchor your soul. Awareness is not an assignment. Simply because God or the universe has allowed you to be aware of their energy, it does not mean you have been given a task to complete. You are not being assigned the job of their healer. You are not being assigned the role of their reminder. You are simply being given the gift of clarity, the clarity to know that what you felt was real, and that the bond you share is still a living thing. This message is your permission to release the pressure you've been putting on yourself. You don't have to wait. You don't have to act. And you certainly don't have to figure out what happens next. If they are meant to return to your physical world, the same universe that is keeping this connection alive in the silence will be the one to bridge the gap in the noise. It will not require you to chase. It will not require you to lose your own peace to find theirs. You can be aware of the love you have for someone and still move forward with your own life. You can acknowledge that they couldn't sleep last night because they were thinking of you, and still choose to have a beautiful, productive day for yourself today. This is the ultimate form of self-trust, knowing that you are connected to the infinite, but grounded in your own strength. I want you to imagine just for a moment that you are taking all the what ifs, all the when will they call, and all the how will this end, and you are placing them into a small wooden box. Now, imagine handing that box over to a higher power. It is no longer yours to carry. It is no longer yours to solve. Your heart can be light now because you have stopped trying to play the role of the creator. You have stopped trying to manage the timing of the stars. The confusion you felt when you started listening to this is dissolving. The self-blame is falling away. You are not crazy for feeling them, but you are also not a prisoner to that feeling. You are a free, beautiful soul who is capable of deep connection and even deeper peace. So, as you go back into your world, carry this stillness with you. If you feel that tug again tonight or tomorrow, just smile to yourself. Acknowledge it like a soft breeze passing through an open window. Let it remind you that you are loved, and then let it go. You have been steadied, you have been seen, you have been heard. God is guiding them and God is guiding you. The paths are being prepared. The hearts are being softened. Everything is in perfect divine motion. Take one last deep breath. Inhale peace. Exhale the need to know. You are safe, you are whole, and you are finally free to just be you. As we move into these final moments of our journey together, I want you to resist the urge to turn everything we've talked about back into a puzzle. Your mind might want to start building stories again, trying to predict the future or analyze the past. But for now, I am asking you to just rest. You have done enough emotional work for one day. You have carried the weight of these feelings long enough. Now, it is time to ground yourself back into the present moment. Feel the weight of your body where you are sitting or lying down. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Listen to the quiet sounds in the room around you. The spiritual world is vast, but you live here, in this physical body in this moment. If waves of emotion continue to come to you over the next few hours or days, if you feel that sudden surge of longing or that echo of their restlessness, let those emotions pass through you like clouds moving across the sky. Don't try to catch them. Don't try to name them. And most importantly, don't build a story around them. You don't need to decide what a feeling means in order to feel it. You are allowed to just exist in this space without a plan. I want you to repeat this softly to yourself or just let the words wash over you. I don't need answers right now. I need peace. Society tells us that clarity comes from having answers, but true spiritual clarity comes from being okay with the questions. It comes from the realization that even if you never knew the why or the how, you would still be okay. You would still be whole. You would still be held by a love that never lets go. Let the mental noise fade into the background. It's like the static on a radio between two clear stations. It's just noise and it doesn't define the music. Your soul is the music. Your peace is the signal. You have created a safe harbor within yourself today. No matter what is happening in their world or what is happening in the silence between you, this harbor remains calm. You can return here whenever the world feels too loud or the connection feels too heavy. Your emotional safety is not dependent on a text message, a phone call, or a grand gesture. It is built on the foundation of your own breath and the divine light that lives inside you. So, as you move forward from this moment, move slowly. Speak gently to yourself. Treat your heart with the same tenderness you would give to a dear friend. The universe is handling the details. The stars are in their proper places, and you are exactly where you belong. Go now, not with a list of things to do, but with a heart that is finally truly at rest. You have your peace, and for now that is more than enough. Let us take one final slow breath together, deeply in and slowly out. Feel the space around you. Feel the bed or the chair beneath you. You have carried so much today. You have carried the weight of your own heart and the echo of another's. But right now, in this second, you are being given permission to let it all go. You are allowed to relax. Everything you are worried about, the timing, the silence, the future, it is all being held by hands much larger than yours. You don't have to stay awake to guard your destiny. You don't have to keep watch over the connection to make sure it doesn't fade. Nothing is being taken from you. Even in the silence, even in the distance, what is yours is being preserved. What is meant for you is moving toward you, even while you sleep. You aren't losing time. You aren't losing them. And most importantly, you aren't losing yourself. Take another breath. Feel the tension leaving your feet, your hands, your shoulders. Whatever happens tomorrow, whatever the next chapter holds, you are still whole. You were whole before this connection, and you are whole within it. Your value is not tied to someone else's ability to see it or speak it right now. You are a complete, divine being, resting in the palm of the universe. As the silence grows around you, let it feel like a warm blanket. Let the world outside fade away. There is no more searching to do. There are no more questions to answer. You are safe. You are loved. You are at peace. Sleep now, knowing that the light you've been looking for is already inside you. Everything is exactly as it should be. If this brought you peace, you can rest now. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to check your phone. You don't need to look for signs. And you don't need to replay these words to make sure you understood every part. You didn't miss anything. Your soul heard exactly what it needed to hear. The messages that were meant for you have already settled into your heart, and they will do their work while you simply exist. You have spent so long feeling like you were behind, or like you were losing a race you didn't even want to run. But the truth is much kinder. You are exactly where you need to be. Your journey is unfolding at the perfect pace. The love you feel is not a burden, it is a light. The silence you hear is not a void, it is a classroom. And the peace you feel right now is your natural state. Take one last, gentle breath. The weight is gone, the confusion has cleared. You can trust yourself again, you can trust your path. Be still, be at ease. You are safe.